Well now, Fireman AF is not slowing down. Just when he comes out with a new ENB, Touch of Natural Tamriel. I keep forgetting the natural part. Sorry, dude. Touch of Natural Tamriel. Then there's an update for that one. And as if that isn't enough, he's now come out with a new preset. I was wondering if he was ever going to make presets for that one. Well, I guess that's been answered. So this new preset is for Obsidian Weathers. And that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Touch of Natural Tamriel. See, I remembered that time. And Obsidian Weathers. So, a little disclaimer here. I've used Obsidian with Reengaged for probably a year and a half, somewhere around that time frame. And there were three things about Obsidian that kind of bothered me. Well, two things that kind of bothered me a little. Not that big a deal. And one thing that kind of bothered me a lot. One of the things, and I'm not gonna say too much about it. It's just that when it's a moderate to heavy rain, I would hear this odd sound. And I don't want to say any more, because if you haven't noticed it, good. Because it's kind of one of those things that once you hear it, you know, I say, oh, once you see something or once you hear something, you can't unhear it or you can't unsee it. I think it's kind of like that. So, but again, it's not that big a deal. Usually if it's a heavy rain, I usually go inside and wait it out. If it's a light rain or a moderate rain, I may just keep on trucking doing what I'm doing. Especially if it's a light rain. I don't notice it with the light rain, just when it's a moderate to heavy rain. So it's not that big a deal. The other thing was sometimes I would see clouds that look like they're on the same cloud layer moving in opposite directions, which I thought was really odd. I mean, I've seen clouds do that, but they're like 10, 15,000 feet apart, different cloud layers. I guess that's when you have, I don't know, a high pressure and a low pressure moving in opposite directions. But when they're, you know, in the same cloud level, it looks a little odd. So, but again, that's not that big a deal, really. It doesn't happen all the time. It's just occasionally I would see that. So, again, that's not that big a deal. The other one, well, we're going to have to go outside and take a look at that. There's a number of other changes that I've done with some mods which have nothing to do with TNT or Obsidian, but I'll talk about those when we get moving. So, that being said, it is 8:48 in the AM. We are sitting in my house, as usual, Lakeshore Cabin. And one thing I can tell you right off the bat here is a little bit darker here than with NAT. And I think well, I can't really say about the light sources, because the light sources around the chandeliers, the candles, the fireplace, those are out right now. So we have just the light from the fill lights. However, I think there are a few light sources that are on right now. This one might be, that's a very small one, but this light source here looks a little bit darker and a little bit of a deeper orange than before. Not saying that's good or bad, I'm just pointing that out. The light source here on Meridia doesn't look quite as bright, quite as white. It has a little more of a yellowish tint. Let's take a quick look down here. We have to compare some interiors, so as long as we're here, so this looks just a little bit darker than before. It looks good though. Same thing here. It looks really good. Maybe just a touch darker. I kind of noticed it here more than anywhere else. That the lighting in here is a little bit less bright. And a side note, it looks like the regular glass again. That's really strange. If you remember that, it looked like, for whatever reason, the transparency on here was, on these dagger displays was, I was going to say wasn't there, but that's kind of a, how do you say it's, transparency's transparent. It just looked like the glass wasn't even there. So again, we may have to pop in here again this evening to see how this looks when the other light sources come on. But let's head out the back and take a look at things out here. Beautiful scene. So I talked about that one other little thing with Obsidian that bothered me quite a bit. And that was the fact that for whatever reason it killed the watercolor that I was trying to get from Realistic Water 2. Now, obviously, as you can see, I have watercolor. So, how is this accomplished? Well, I went to download the new ENB preset, and because I have rebuilt my system and reinstalled everything since the last time I used Obsidian, I went and downloaded that one, get the latest version and all that. Decided to read through some of the posts there, and there were a few other people that were saying the same thing, like, hey, I really like this weather, but it just ruins the watercolor. Well, one person, and I think that person's name, I'll put it on screen, but I think it's like Bye-Bye Parthenax. This person put a post in there and said, hey, I decided to open up Obsidian and see if I could figure out what was going on. And it has something to do with the water value multipliers were changed. So he took the vanilla numbers for that and put them back in there, and boom, it's got watercolor again. And I guess because the watercolor is based on those values, but Obsidian, for whatever reason, changes those, and it has nothing to do with weather. So he was putting in a post there where he's kind of describing how he did it, and he's like, you know what? Never mind. Hang on. I'll make a mod, and so he made a mod, put it on there, and I say he. I assume, I don't know, he or she. This individual did that, and as you can see, it works. This person knew what they were doing. It's a very simple mod. It just put some of those water values back to their vanilla numbers, and he said it should work for any weather mod that changes the water to remove a watercolor, and he said it should work with any water mod that gives you the watercolor. So I mean, there's some others besides RW2, but it works. Glorious. I'm very happy to have Obsidian. I get those mixed up. I'm very happy to have Obsidian and watercolor at the same time. So I was sure to run over there and leave an endorsement and left a nice thank you note for this person. Okay, a few other things. You can see grass looks a little bit different. This is the Vadosprum spring grass version. I did a little bit of running around with this before, and I'm still getting a few more FPS hits than I'd like, so I may have to look at that in a little bit as well. But I wanted to give this another try and see if I can get things looking the way I want them. And also, you may notice there's some trees missing. I've removed dense Nordic forest, and for me it was, sometimes you're trying a new mod and you kind of have this balancing thing going, like the scales of justice, things you like, things you don't like, and those scales are kind of going back and forth. Well, eventually the things that I didn't like about it started to outweigh the things I did like about it. And one of the things I didn't like about it is that there were some leaning trees, which is fine, but it seemed like there were just way too many of them, and sometimes they were clustered together. I didn't really like that look, and there were some trees that were broken off like a quarter or a third of the way up. And again, that's fine if there's an occasional one, but I would see them, just clusters of them. And they weren't changed in height. They weren't rotated, because they still have a few branches on them, even though they were broken off. They weren't rotated, so it was just literally just looked like copy paste, copy paste. And I would find some of these clustered together, 3, 4, 5. Even there's one place I think where I got the screenshot from, right near that one, where there were 6 of them, almost lined up one behind the other. And it just kind of bothered me. So I missed the trees that were added along the lake, especially the aspen trees. But again, I did that balancing thing, and so I decided to part ways with it. And also, because I took that off, I had to run Dyndalot again. So this time I disabled the billboard file that Enhanced Vanilla Trees adds. So I reinstalled Enhanced Vanilla Trees. I did not select the Realistic Aspen Tree option, but instead I installed that as a separate mod, Realistic Aspen Trees, because it comes with its own billboards. And then I had Dyndalot generate billboards from the default trees and using Realistic Aspen Trees billboards. If all that gibberish makes sense. I don't know if we're going to use those spells, but I'm going to grab them anyway. Well, I guess I could show one of the spells I'm working on. I know this is supposed to be about the ENB and the new weather preset, but let me show this real quick. There's a new spell I'm working on here. It's called Sunbeam. And it's supposed to do sun damage, but have the effect similar to... That's not there. It's supposed to look like flames. And it kind of does that. See, it won't aggro these guys because they're not undead. The only problem with this one is that it has no range. As you can see. I mean, I don't know how much of a problem that is, but I'm trying to figure out how to give it a limited distance like you would get with Flames, Frostbite, Sparks, and I've not been able to do that. Anyway, with that aside, let's take a look at things. So, one thing that I noticed right away, the house looks a little bit darker, and the center of the trees here in some cases looks a little bit darker, and I guess that's an increase in contrast. I kind of like that, actually. I always thought Obsidian had a slight kind of, I don't want to say ominous, but a little bit of a moody look to it. Run! That won't hurt him. So yeah, it looks like there's... I can't really tell right now if there's more or less saturation. There's definitely a little more contrast. You can absolutely see it in the center of the trees. I know what you're thinking. He's walking past those guys and not kicking their asses. What's going on? Has he turned a new leaf? Who is this imposter? There'll be time for that stuff. What I want to do now is head down to the Guardian Stones. I like to take a look along the lake from there. Oh, one of the reasons I generated the LODs with the default LODs, if you remember, I was saying how the trees were, the other billboards were really tall, and when I got close, they shrunk down to half the size. If you look at some of these trees back here, keep an eye on those. or keep an eye on those, you'll see they're not going to change size. They're just going to see how they just blend into the regular close-up trees. So I don't have that pop out effect. So that's kind of a relief. Got a little bit of color in the red rocks. Always a good thing. That fire looks pretty good. This fire always seems to be a little bit darker than others to me. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Alright, so what's the plan today? We need to get a move on. I do want to check some interiors. I do want to go look at... Well, we might as well take the normal route here. I do want to look at the mine here, Embershard. And then we'll run over to Bleak Falls Barrow. And I would like to go see how things look in the Rift. And we'll see how the time is after that. I would like to take a look and see how things are in Morthal and out by the Western Watchtower. There might be some idiots in here. Let's try... What should we hit them with? What sounds like fun? I'm kind of thinking like Expert Frostbite and maybe a lightning bolt. Yeah, let's try that. Well, there's nobody outside, so we may be out of luck. Yeah, this does look a little bit darker. And these light sources look a little more orangey than with the NAT preset. Oh, we got somebody down here. I guess we should deal with them, huh?
Never should have come here.
Yeah, slightly overpowered spells. Yeah, light sources here are definitely orange. It gives me an idea what the cabin is going to look like. I think it's a little bit darker in this room than we had with NAT. Now, if I'm just playing the game, I'm pretty happy with it. I can see well enough. It's got a little bit of creep factor. But again, if I'm recording and uploading, it might be a little bit too dark for that purpose. But as someone playing the game, yes, definitely light sources are definitely orangey. More dark orange. Orangey. Orangish, darker orange, whatever term you want to use.
Need me some skooma, the important.
Here, it's not skooma, but has the same effect. You know, depending on how much you imbibe.
Thought I heard something.
It's nothing.
Well, it's not really fair taking out these bandits with... Oh, come on. Not really fair taking out these bandits with high power spells. But when have I ever been the promoter of fairness? Oh, except when I'm dealing with the Stormcloaks and Imperials, but that's different context. Yeah, we have kind of the same thing here. Light sources are more orange, a little bit darker in here than with the NAT preset. Again though, if it were just me, I'd be fine with it. But I always have to keep in mind, how's this going to look when it gets on YouTube? Because it does make the dark areas darker. Definitely darker orange on the light sources. So I sound like a broken record. I know. Okay, come on. Well, that's a nice looking scene, huh? Do we have any dumbasses out here right now? There's one. Wow, you're pretty tough. This is a fairly high-powered spell. Off you go. I can't believe he didn't survive that fall. Yeah, as long as we're up here. Yeah, I wish there were some slightly nicer looking LODs for the trees. They're still a little bit lighter green than the close-up ones. I don't know what to do about that. There's a chance I may try 3D trees. Actually, I'd say there's a pretty good chance I'm going to try that, but not right away. There's another tree mod I may want to try first, and it's called Alpine Forest of Whiterun Valley. And it puts a lot of pine trees in Whiterun Hold. So I may want to try taking a look at that first. And then maybe after that, I'll try the 3D trees. They're on to me. This looks pretty good. Again, I think it's a little less bright than NAT. Looks good though. Light source here is a little more orange, just like at Ember Shard. Let's head down below here. Yeah, this is looking a little more orange as well. So we've got slightly warmer lights. It looks like a little more contrast. I'm not sure if there's more or less saturation yet. I haven't figured that out yet. I love it when they go flying after getting hit by a spell. I really, really am glad they factored that into the game. I still get a kick out of that. Let's see. ENV off. ENV on. Damn it. Alright, let's see. Let's get, yeah, that's going to make things kind of easy. Let's try... Oh, wait, I got to read that one. Let's try Adept Sunfire. I never noticed those candles there. Were those always there? You know, I've kind of pride myself on someone who stops and tries to look around and appreciate things. And here I think I missed something really obvious. It had to be there. I'm pretty sure the ENB and the weather didn't add those. Three up, three down. Just had to see what the fires look like. Okay, we'll go a little bit farther. We'll slap around some Draugr and then head out of here. That spell I showed earlier. Ugh. What are you gonna do? Cook? That spell I showed earlier is novice level, so I don't know if I'm gonna bother with it here. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit darker and, you know, more orange. Again, sorry if I sound like a broken record. I'm just pointing out my observations here. Okay, here's where it gets fun. I'm actually going to put that in the right hand and put this in the left. Wake up! Boost! Wake up! Boost! Boost! Everybody up? Don't run in there, dude. Let's see if I can set that trap up. There we go. Where's the other one? Oh, I wonder what happened. Boost! Wake up! You ready? Run, dummy. Oh no, Draugr. Yeah, that was fun. Don't act surprised. You know my videos. I have to beat the crap out of something somewhere. Alright, let's try, let's go ahead and try a sunbeam. Wake up! This is helpful for hitting moving targets. It's still kind of loud, and I even turned the loudness down on this one. Turned it down to medium for that spell. It's still really loud. Not as efficient as the others, though, because it is, after all, a novice spell. Only does like 8 points of damage. ENB off. ENB on. Alright, well, we've seen the house and Ember Shard, and hey, we missed somebody. Oh, you totally ran the wrong way that time, didn't you? I thought there was another one somewhere. Alright, I want to see how things look in the Rift. So let's get there quickly. Alright, here we are. 6:40, 6:50? 6:52 a.m. It's quite a nice scene. So I've watched several videos Oh, the red rocks look nice, don't they? They really glow in the morning sun. I've watched several videos with this kind of has a little bit of a intrigued ENV kind of look to it. I mean, just going by some of the videos I've seen. So we've got realistic aspen trees, and as you can see, the trees, well, it's kind of hard to see looking into the sun, but the trees in the distance there, they've got the RAT billboards. That's kind of nice. Let's get in here and take a bit of a closer look. I want to keep an eye on the FPS as well. Again, it has nothing to do with the weather in ENB. It's just with the grass mod. I'm trying to multitask here. Yeah, I really think there's a little more. Again, I think it's contrast. It definitely gives things a little bit of a. Again, a little bit of a moody. Not ominous, but you know, starting to move in that direction. I kind of like that actually. I was hoping you'd be here. Dumb bear, he doesn't know what to do. What, another one? Ooh. Got this? There you go. Now what? Whoa! Damn. Dude, 2 bears and a spider. I guess he earned his paycheck this time. Another spider. And here comes a wolf. Why, the hits just keep on coming, huh? This looks pretty nice, don't you think? Well, this is kind of tough. It's hard to say. You know what we need to do? We need to get up on top of that hill so we can get a view, a long range view. Well, the water is very, very blue from up here. That's what I get, but I just have to have watercolor. RAT billboards are a little darker compared to the up close ones. But that's still better than the other option is they're all yellow like the default ones, which would look really odd. So they're not. They're not uglier. They're just darker than what the alternative would be. So this actually is a little closer match. All right, let's take a quick look at. Tell you what, let's take a quick look at the Western Watchtower, and then we'll run over to Morthal and see how the swamp looks. So with Vadosbrom, I chose the 1K version, obviously the spring grass. I'm kind of wondering how this works, how this looks with... Well, I don't know. It says it changes the ground cover too, so I don't know. I've got a mod that adds ground cover, but I think this one's low in the load order, so I'm pretty sure this one's overriding it. Well, at least it matches pretty well. The stuff in the distance there might be a little more brown, but it's not too far off. That's good. I thought I saw some Thalmor a minute ago. Yeah, maybe not. So this is midday. Yeah, it seems like dark objects... It's going to sound kind of weird. It seems like dark objects are a little darker. Like this thing. This tower. This thing. Because stone's a little darker, this seems a little darker than... You know, if I'm just looking around, the grass isn't very dark. The trees aren't very dark. The ground covers aren't very dark, but even there, you look at the Fort Greymore, it looks a little darker. The architecture, my house, looked a little darker. Even the logs and stuff, like this burned down thing, looks a little darker than before. I wonder if that's possible. I mean, can you like pick out certain objects and, well, not objects, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the increase in contrast. Like maybe it's taking existing contrast and what's already there and stepping it up a little bit more. Maybe that's what it is. It still looks pretty nice out here. It's the middle of the day. Clear skies. Very bright. Well, no, it's not very bright. It's bright. It's what you would expect. But tell you what, let's wait till sunset. See how it looks then, and then we'll head over to Morthal. Now see, the fort there looks a little less dark than before. I don't know. Maybe I've been looking at these things too much now. You know? You stare at something too long and it starts looking different. I've been trying different weathers and ENBs quite a bit lately, so... Let's wait one more hour. Yes, one thing I noticed about some of the videos with Obsidian is that and I know this from having used it before, the clouds and stuff, sunsets and sunrises can be pretty dramatic looking. But I don't see any clouds moving into each other. Not that I was really expecting to, but, you know. Alright, let's get over to Morthal, take a quick look at that, and then wrap this up. This is going on a little bit longer than I expected. So we haven't taken a look at anything at night yet, so I thought, why not? It's almost 11 o'clock. Let's get a night scene in here, at least one. There's a glow of a fire over there. I'm not sure. Oh, that's got to be Movarth's lair. Got a little bit of aurora coming in. That's looking nice. I just thought we should get in at least one night scene in this video. This looks pretty nice out here with the aurora. This looks good. It's not. It's dark, but not too dark. It's like over there, I can see, you know, the outlines of the trees, but I can't make out any detail or see any colors or anything. So I think the light levels are pretty appropriate. And it's got a little bit of the creep factor, because something could be moving around not far in front of you, and you can't see it. Which is good, because I sometimes like to be surprised, even in a bad way. Got a little bit of mist rolling through. It's a nice scene. Alright. Oh, wait till morning. See how things look. Alright, this is 6 a.m. It's just getting light. Nice fog rolling in. Yeah, this area looks really good. Starting to get a little bit of color out here now as the sun's coming up. Okay, I think something just tried to spit on me. I don't see anything. Not gonna hang around to find out, though. Yeah, there's something out there. He'll find it. Looks like he's already onto it. Yeah, this looks really nice out here. I'm kind of thinking that this might be the nicest looking area. I kind of like the grass here is really nice too. Well, we have an overcast sky, which I don't think we had before. Man, look at this fog. This is great. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the look of this area a little bit better than... Shut up. Maybe it's just because it's the swamp. I don't know. This is always a pretty cool looking area. Well, I think that's going to do it. Very interesting. I'll have to watch the other video and try and compare these two, see if I have a favorite. It's really hard to say, you know. They both look really nice. So, that's where we're going to leave it for now. I may, just out of comparison's sake, I may want to go and take another look at Re-engaged with Obsidian and maybe Intrigued with Obsidian too. Since now I have watercolor again, I'm kind of like, hey, let's go check it out. I'm kind of excited about that, you know. So, anyway, so there might be a couple more videos coming up about that. So, anyway, that'll do it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And I'll see you next time.